Oh, here's the thing. I didn't think this would come back when I reopened it, but here's the introduction I was going to read. This build will take you through Sagas Cliffs, which is the first major location in Torment. The story we've created is reactive, detailed and set in a world unlike any other. We encourage you to play multiple times to get a sense of how your choices can change your path through the ninth world. And that's why I kind of am playing this early, even though I almost never do this type of thing, just because this is the type of game you're going to want to play over and over again. And supposedly combat is mostly, if not completely optional, which I love that. I mean, maybe the combat's really good and I want to do it, I don't know. But if it sucks, I don't want to do it. The latest version comes with thousands of changes, many directly from our community's feedback and suggestions. Blotty-blotty-blue. Torment is still a ways from final release, and we will continue to polish and improve the game. Okay. Known issues: balance is at an early pass. Random text errors appear in conversations and barks. Some side quests may break. Whether you are playing for the first time or a returning player checking out the newest version, we hope you enjoy your journey. ... Ominous ... dotting. My favorite kind of ... dotting. No! Okay, and we're back. I had to redo everything, and the game crashed a couple times. It didn't really crash, it just didn't let me do anything a couple times. But now we're here. It seems like there's still no sound, so maybe there's just no sound. I still don't know, because there was sound at the very beginning, and it seems to be gone now. What this? The air thickens with each step you take towards the watery orb, and whispering voices flit across one of the countless aching gaps in your mind. This must be one of the memories you were told to find. Two figures swim down through the orb, as though it is a fathomless ocean. One vanishes into the ebony depths, before you can study it. The other, a female, seems to be struggling, or perhaps drowning. Man, this is so abstract. I don't know. I don't think the whole game's going to be like this. I think it's just the beginning. Once we get a little bit more grounded, I think. I mean, there's obviously this game is based around like weird shit going on, but yeah, it's a little crazy right now. You realize that, like the swimmer, you cannot breathe. Tear the orb open to release the water within. Rescue the swimmer before she drowns. Let's try to rescue the swimmer before she drowns, yeah. Oh, so let's try this out. Let's try the 1 out of 2 and see if this goes down. It does, look. It dropped a bit. Permanently gained 1 speed pool. Maximum speed pool is now 3. Success. You plunge your hand into the orb and catch the tiny swimmer. Surprisingly strong muscles flex against your palm, and the swimmer pulls you through the breach. As she does, you feel faster. Something about this place causes even your smallest choices to shape who you are. Yeah, see, this is where you start to like build your character. So we used our speed there, so it's like, okay, they want to use their speed, which I think is pretty accurate for what I want to go for here. I'm obviously not too interested in might currently. You know, I'll do another build, of course, with someone who's might, but it looks like we're going the speed route for her. And you can, I don't know, like how, if this is the type of game where you want to go, like, I went speed here, so I have to go all speed now, or do I want to spread it out a little bit? I think what they were going for this is they wanted you to spread out to make a real character, basically, because, you know, as a person, you're not just like one thing or the other. Although, I guess some people are. But, I don't know. I hope that you can spread things out a little bit, but at the same time, you're meant to play through a lot, so maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, we will find out. As you plunge into the water, a memory floods your mind. You stand in front of a rusted door. The air is humid and dank. You've had a moment's respite from this water-logged hell. Alright, it's a little confusing. A bubble of stale air, your resting point. You've breathed water before, and you've lived decades beneath the waves. Wow, really. But this body's an air breather, and the constant pressure has been crushing you ever so subtly. Worse, your companion's mind seems to be wandering from the task at hand. He's a genius with machines, as you well know, but now he seems distracted. I have no fucking clue what's going on. The device in his hands is covered in knobs, wires, and antennae. He believes it can get the two of you through the corroded door, but he's merely staring at it. Perhaps he's lost faith in his invention. But that is hardly your concern. This mission cannot be delayed. It must proceed. So you can deceive him by telling him that you've heard sounds of pursuit. Threaten him until he returns to the task at hand. If this is taking too long, cast a spell and necessary to fix the device yourself. I mean, if we can fix it ourselves, let's fix it ourselves. Like, why would we yell at him if we can fix it ourselves? That's dumb. You mumble a few words, drawing power from the air around you until a solution appears in your mind. You snatch the device from his hands, rewire it, and shove it back at him. "Oh," he says, examining your work. "Sorry! I was trying to improve the thing." He waves the device at the door, and the stale air of your bubble freshens as the door swings open. A dark hallway lies beyond, a passage that links the water-boarded cells in the aquatic viewing area. What you seek lies there. So, am I reading this correctly? We are in a... Wait. I don't know. Am I missing text up here? Yeah. Moments later, you're underwater again, and your hands are closing around a strange artifact that seems somehow familiar. It hovers above a pedestal, writhing and spinning as if alive. An electric current runs through your fingers as your hand crosses the vertical plane for the pedestal. An iridescent field coalesces so fast that the wave of pressure dazes you for a moment. The rising pulse of a sonar alarm ripples through the water. The guards won't be far behind. Run, you can come back for it. They won't be able to protect it forever. Disable the sonar pulse. Use your device to stop them, one of the ciphers in your belt. So, what's the sonar pulse again? The rising pulse of a sonar alarm ripples through the water. I don't know if the sonar alarm... Let's use device to stop them. Yeah. You run urgent fingers around the devices fastened to your waist. A fog rising in your mind. A few can be used against the guards, but will also turn your skin into synth still, or the surrounding water into boiling wax. Hardly ideal. Finally, you find a small silver sphere. Setting the sphere in place, you kick desperately for the safety of a nearby alcove. The sphere whirls and unfolds into a spiraling vortex. The sphere at its center speaks a few polite words in an ancient language, then begins draining the surrounding water into itself with alarming speed. The approaching guards shout, then scream as they too are sucked into the whirlpool and ripped to pieces. You allow yourself a fleeting smile, but are all too aware that more alarms are going off in the distance. The memory begins to fade, as if you were being drawn backward through a tunnel, and you hear more pylons rising from the pit. Something is wrong. The events within the orb have settled into the gap in your mind, but the edges of it are rough, as though the memory itself is not truly yours. There's something else, a gust of sour air pulling at you, like a predator inhaling the scent of its prey at the far end of a dark, whispering field. Sure. Yep. I understood all that. You know, I'm saying I don't understand it. Obviously, it's meant to be a bit abstract, and it's not something you see in a lot of these games, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the fact that I'm kind of like lost here, and that's an interesting feeling. Because typically in game settings, you know exactly where you are in the world, and I've read a bit about this world. Not a ton. It was a long time ago, but I have some idea of what's happening here, and I'm still like, I don't know. So we've got 3 doors here. Oh, hang on. Got something over here too. This mirror looks strange, as though what you see in it is real, and you're the reflection. No, don't be silly. Got another orb here. We got some doors. No sign or symbol tells you what might be behind this enormous door. A dull chill radiates from its bronze segmented surface, and the thick metal wheel seems frozen in place. Countless scratches and wounds mar the surface of this door. Someone made a great effort to get inside, to no avail. So someone else was here before me, obviously. I mean, well, clearly, but interesting. The light around the door's frame dims and flares like a roaring fire in a high wind. Okay. Definitely, I don't know. This orb, this memory, resembles an eye or a masked face. It turns to face you with cold disdain. Mechanisms spin and mesh beneath the gleaming surface, and an ominous ticking begins getting faster and faster. 2 cold facts emerge from the mental gap this memory once occupied. The ticking does indeed mean that the device will soon explode, and you have no one to blame but yourself. This trap is yours, built to protect the memory within. This trap is yours, built to protect the memory from within. Okay, work swiftly to disable the trap before it explodes, or try to remember how to open the device. Perhaps this will disarm the trap as well. Let's go for the speed because, well, honestly, this seems like a better option because perhaps that will disarm the trap as well. No, that's not necessarily a good way to go about it if we can potentially disable it in the first place. So let's try that out. So we permanently gained 1, so we lost 1, but we gained 1 back, so we still have 3 here. We can do 100%, but let's try to be measured here. We still don't know what happens if we fail, but I don't really want to fail, so let's just... Nope, I failed. Okay. Permanently gained 1 speed pull. Maximum speed pull is now 4. Failure. While reaching through the misty surface of the orb, your hand slips, and a blurring edge of a gear slices into your fingertip. Okay, so we lost a little bit of health there. Before ratcheting to a stop. Your body becomes more deft in the attempt, however. Suddenly, a painful memory jolts through the wound, racing toward your mind. Alright, so we didn't lose anything except for health there, which is fine. I didn't think, like, I mean, I'm sure when you fail stuff, you'll miss out on, like, potential story stuff later, but they're not going to do that this early. As well they shouldn't. You stand beside a woman on a verdant crag. Beneath the two of you is a broad plateau, towering above the overgrowth far below. Strange machines have been built into the cliffside, presumably for reconnaissance or defense. Metallic disc gleams from the center of the plateau. You are self-aware, humanoid machines drill into the base of the cliffs below. If you are looking for a sanctuary, and you were desperately, this seems like the right place. Oh, by the way, one of the major things in the first game is that you're an immortal who dies over and over again, and you lose your memory when you die. So he's lived like tons of past lives, and you don't remember them. But you'll meet people who will like remember you and have like a history with you, and it's kind of weird and cool way to do that. Basically, where you know when you die, instead of just like reloading, you just come back to life. I don't know how this game works, but clearly she's lived past lives, and maybe it's something really similar there. I don't know about this, the woman says, her voice flat, neutral. Her face is turned away from you. What makes this place any more secure than the other ones we've found? Draw her attention to the hidden details that your more experienced eye can clearly see. Use your charm to persuade her of the merits of the site, and to remind her of the time constraints. Convince her with the wisdom of your superior intellect. Let's try to charm her. I like to be like sort of a charmer in these type of games, so let's try it out, see how it goes. Although, actually that said, I think this character is less of a charmer and more of this type of character. She's very quick and very quick-minded as well. Not just speed, but she's basically the opposite of me. She's very fast, she has a lot of speed, and she's very quick-minded. Yes, the exact opposite. You shade your eyes against the bright sun, so that you can point out the thin bands radiating out from the metallic disc. How the energy from those bands affects the local fauna, suggesting an enormous source of prior world energy. She thinks deeply. It's geologically sound? Have you run the sounding samples and checked the strata? No major caravans or weaknesses showed up on your resonance scans. She waits for your affirmation and says, all right, I'm convinced. That's right. Respect. The two of you sketch your plans for the sanctuary, drawing schematics and architectural diagrams. Then you descend onto the plateau to examine the open ground. Okay. The woman suggests having one of the servitors build a shelter for your time here. You try to draw one of the constructs away from its task, but it doesn't respond to your voice. When you lay a hand on its shoulder to reinforce your command, it whirls and strikes you across the face with inhuman speed. It turns back to its task, ignoring you. Your companion helps you rise, laughter in her eyes. It seems your construct has other ideas. What's the matter with it? Use the Numenera, the game title, integrated into the construct's body to overwhelm the behavior malfunction. Examine the construct for mechanical faults. Look for a deeper solution. Perhaps it's an effect of the metallic disc itself. That sounds reasonable. A mist falls onto the plateau as you wrap a fiber shielding mesh around the construct's skull. The mesh powers up, protecting the construct's mind from any transdimensional emissions that might be in the area. Taking a deep breath, you repeat your command. Acknowledge! It obediently trundles to the site of your new shelter. The image freezes, then it fades, and you feel the memory filling the gap in your mind, block by jagged block. You stagger, clutching your head, reclaiming your memories hurts. And once more, there's something else. Hairs lift one by one on the back of your neck. Something beyond this room can sense what you are doing. And it's hunting you. Womp womp womp. What? This reformed. We got another ball down here. All the balls. So these are like my leaking memories here, and this is like my mind palace or something like that. I don't know. Alright guys, I think that'll do it for this episode. Very interesting. Lots of reading, obviously. If you're not going to enjoy that, this game is not for you. It's not for you to watch. It's not for you to play. This is all about cool fiction and you having choices that to interact with the world in weird ways. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye!